Ooh, what's up, everybody? My name is OMG, WTF, LOLF, BRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2016. We are doing the Local to Global Challenge. We are booking our own company, the International Wrestling Corporation. I almost said challenge there. International Wrestling Challenge. Why the hell not? The IWC. We are currently the year of 1971 in week 2. Oh boy, hiccups are kicking in now too. What a way to start this recording. Anyway, I know it's been a while since we've done one of the local to global episodes, and just kind of give you guys a bit of a refresher, let us go to our history, shall we? So in the last episode, we had Dino Bravo and Baron von Heisinger kind of, I don't want to say end their feud, because their feud is kind of going on still in a way, but it's pretty much probably going to be the final singles match between them, I would say. Marvelous Morocco seems like he started a new feud with George Holtz because of, because he's looking to use him as a stepping stone, since it seems like a lot of the top stars here in the IWC have beaten Holtz to get into the top now. Randy Tyler still trying to, I guess, prove that he's better than Ivan Putski. I don't know why he would take on the Polish powerhouse, but the bratty kid, the Richie Rich wannabe, Randy Tyler, still continuing that feud with Putski. But that's what happened in the last show. We won't see a lot of those people on today's show, so I'm not even really sure why we went over that. Either way, though, before we get started, I do kind of want to propose something to you guys. I know Total Extreme Wrestling 2020 just came out. I'm not entirely sure if I want to buy it yet. I know I said prior that I wasn't going to buy it because I'm on this crap top. But I don't know really when I'm going to be getting a desktop. I can't promise it'll be anytime soon. And I know a lot of you guys probably want to see me do 2020. And I don't know if I'll be doing Invasion in 2020, because Invasion's such a big file and whatnot. And I don't even know if you're able to transfer saves. But Invasion's the most popular series, so I don't think I'm going to be ending that anytime soon. But IWC here, the Local to Global Challenge, is relatively new. We have a couple episodes under our belt by now. But it is a relatively new company. We haven't done a full, I think this is our second year in the business, so we haven't even been around all that long. We're not even out of local territory. So I don't know if I want to restart the series per se, I'll be honest. I do really kind of like the roster I've built so far. There's some wrestlers that I enjoy booking. I like Ripper Savage a lot. So I don't know if I want to restart it or not. That's why I'm kind of like leaving it in your guys' hands. Should we continue going with the Local to Global series, or should we just kind of end it right now? Maybe this will be the last episode, depending on what you guys say. I know it's not the most popular series on the channel, but should we end the series, go ahead and buy Total Extreme Wrestling 2020, and do the Tiny to Titanic challenge or something like that? I know from what I remember reading, I think I heard that they changed the local concept, and you now have like a tiny company as you start with, and then maybe you go from local and onwards. I know they added a bit more sizes to the game, so again, I'm not entirely sure if I want to even get the game, because I am on this crappy laptop right now. I would like to get a desktop, but also I need other things I need to get, like a car and whatnot before that, my wrestling boots. So I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing the idea out there. Maybe if a lot of you guys would rather see the Tiny to Titanic challenge or whatever the hell it is, we can go ahead and try to do that right away with Total Extreme Wrestling 2020 and just kind of end this series now and jump into that. But I'll leave that to you guys. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do anyway, so just kind of thought I'd throw that out there. Anyway, let's go ahead and let's start this show off. Let's not waste any more time, shall we? So we open up the show. We're a little too far to the side. We can't see the grade. We open up the show with Ripper Savage and Don Anderson. In fact, I should be more specific. Don Anderson is technically who we open the show up with, because Anderson is in the ring. He's standing across from Ripper Savage, so I guess Savage is already out there. And the introductions are going down. Whoever's out there introducing Don Anderson and Ripper Savage to the crowd. Ripper, of course, grabs the mic from the announcer and he goes, "Well, if it isn't little Donnie Anderson, Mr. Goody Goody Gumdrops himself. I hear you're the nicest guy in the IWC. A guy so nice, he'd give the shirt off your back. He'd even get you into a fight for someone he doesn't even know. I'm a nice guy too, Donnie. And I really don't want to hurt you." Fuck, I hate doing his voice sometimes. "I mean, I'm the Savage Slaughterhouse, baby. Let's be honest. If you and I were to fight, I'd obliterate you. So since I'm such a nice guy, I'm gonna give you the chance to save your butt and walk back through those ropes with your head still on your shoulders. Did you forget to clean your ears out? Maybe I should say it a little louder, and this time, when I say it, wipe that smirk off your face and don't look at me like you're a man, boy. Get the hell..." But, of course, Don Anderson, tired of hearing Ripper Savage, and honestly, I'm tired of doing the voice. Don Anderson has had enough of Ripper Savage, takes his shot, takes Ripper down off his feet, and that leads to the match, of course, beginning. So Ripper Savage trying to give Don Anderson the chance to get out of here. Anderson, kind of the whipping boy of the IWC. He's a good kid. He doesn't like, bad people. He's always down to stand up for the little guy, even though I would say he's usually the little guy. And Ripper Savage trying to be a nice guy himself, give him a chance to, I guess, walk out of the ring, but Anderson not going to do that. He's looking to make a name off of Ripper Savage here tonight, one of the bigger stars of the IWC. Miss Sherry's here tonight as well. I didn't know that. So Miss Sherry out here helping out Ripper Savage. Good for him. Only in front of 90 people, though, tonight. That's unfortunate. I think we had 100 people on our last show, so 10 people didn't come back. What the hell? They must have Corona right now back then, too. Anyway, 33 E+ rating for the matchup itself. Decent match we had here. Ripper Savage does indeed go over Don Anderson in 5 minutes, 44 seconds after Miss Sherry apparently interfered. So Ripper having to use a little bit of assistance from Miss Sherry. Nonetheless, the Savage Slaughterhouse does get his win here tonight. Miss Sherry doing some good work ringside. Ripper is injured, which is unfortunate, but he's working through it. So he was slowed a little bit there. The match did get the crowd hotter, though, which that's good. Good to know that the crowd is receptive towards both Mr. Savage and Anderson. And Ripper outperforming Don Anderson by 1 whole point here tonight. Remember, he is slowed by his injury, so I'm assuming he's probably a good couple points above Anderson normally. Anyway, Ripper Savage with a 33 in-ring performance. Don Anderson with a 32. And I don't want to knock Don Anderson either, by the way. I mean, I know I said Ripper Savage usually would probably be better than Don Anderson. He is more popular than Don Anderson, and I believe the way our company works is we are a popularity and ring work based company, so your ring work matters just as much as if you're popular. So you kind of need to get both ends of the sticks. You need to be good on the stick, and you need to be good in the ring. That's kind of how that works there. Nonetheless, though, Anderson showing that he does have some good promise. He is a great in-ring talent, I believe. That is kind of why he's in the role he's in, because he helps make people look good. Anyway, moving on, we go to a 30 E+ rating segment here as Ripper Savage still upset with Don Anderson. How dare he even challenge the Savage Slaughterhouse, thinking he can just take him on and even take a cheap shot against him. Ripper Savage continues to beat down on Don Anderson, looking to make a fool out of the young avenging superstar. Of course, the referee is trying to call him off. That's not going to work. Ripper Savage, kind of a bit of a rageaholic here, and once he sees red, it's hard to get him out of it. Unfortunately, one person, fortunately, one person that's able to get Ripper Savage out of that red stare is Mr. Bob Roop, who seems like him and Ripper have a bit of a personal feud going on here. Ripper Savage always calling Bob Roop a clown, thinks Bob Roop is just a joke to the wrestling industry, looks at him as just some Humpty Dumpty wannabe, and Roop is a amateur specialist and wants to just bend Ripper Savage up like a pretzel and shut him up. They've had a couple of matches here. I think they've traded wins. Anyway, Bob Roop, he races down to the ring, goes right after Ripper, looking to get his hands on Ripper Savage, not only trying to protect Don Anderson here, but like I mentioned, the two of them have a bit of a rivalry going on here. They do fight for a few here. Roop does get a couple good shots in on Ripper. Ripper, of course, able to get out of the ring, maybe with a little bit of assistance from Miss Sherry pulling on his leg, trying to get him out of the ring. So Ripper gets away from the ring, running away from Bob Roop, not wanting any of Mr. Roop here. That allows Bob to take to the mic, and he goes, "Where you going, Ripper? After all that talk, you're the one to run away? Who's the clown now? I'm ready for a fight, Ripper. And since you're apparently still looking for a fight, let's settle this right here, right now." Ripper just shaking his head, pretty much going, you can hear him maybe, there's no mic in his hand, but he's like, you ain't worth it. I'm not going to fight you, blah, blah, blah. He's proven his point. He's beaten Bob Roop. He does not need to get in the ring with Roop. Roop, of course, still looking for a fight, takes to the mic still and goes, "Ripper Savage. More like Ripper the Coward. Well, if the clown, Ripper Savage, doesn't want to fight, then who's going to step up?" Roop drops the mic. He wanders the ring for a bit. He's begging for a fight. He's ready for a fight. He wants someone to fight him. And out comes the loose cannon himself, Les Roberts, a man who's is a bit known for being out of control. A lot of people don't know what's going through the mind of Les Roberts. It looks like he just takes pure enjoyment out of causing people pain. Nonetheless, though, Les Roberts does indeed come out, and he's chewing his tobacco. He spits it out on the floor, which I really wish he wouldn't have done, because now Walmart's going to get mad at me for, their parking lot having tobacco. I'm going to blame it on one of their hickey customers, though, so I should be fine. Anyway, though, before making his way down the ring, like I said, he spits his tobacco to the floor, and he's dragging that whip behind him, as he's famous for. He loves whipping people, I'll tell you that. And we got ourselves an impromptu matchup here between Bob Roop and the loose cannon, Les Roberts. That did unfortunately lose some heat for the Iceman Savage Slaughterhouse storyline, but that's okay. Les Roberts also developing better performance skills, so you can't hate that. Always love to see improvements here in the IWC. We move on to our next matchup, which honestly may be the best match of the night. I wouldn't be surprised. 51D plus rating here. Bob Roop is just so damn good, even when he's injured. Even though it's not saying he's injured, I believe Bob Roop is working through an injury. Anyway, though, we have a bout that has good wrestling here and a decent reaction from the crowd. Bob Roop does go over Les Roberts. I believe that's Les Roberts' first official loss. I know he's lost a tag team match when teaming with Frank Dalton, but this is the first time that Les Roberts' shoulders have been pinned to the mat for a 3 count. Bob Roop ending, I guess, the undefeated streak of Les Roberts here tonight. Beats him in 8 minutes, 6 seconds. Having to go to the top, though. Hit him with that shoulder breaker. I guess it doesn't say a flying shoulder breaker, so probably just a running shoulder breaker. Nonetheless, though, putting all his weight behind that to take out the loose cannon himself. Roop had to work hard for that. Excuse me, I'm sounding like Thomas Bug here today. Had to work hard for that victory over Les Roberts here. A lot of you guys aren't going to get that Thomas Bug reference, but he's just some guy I work with in my wrestling company. In real life, I should say. Nonetheless, though, match did get the crowd hotter. This is a good show so far. Hopefully our main event follows it up. We've got some good main event talent in there, so I think we'll be good, actually. Match got the crowd hotter. Bob Roop, again, I think he's injured, but it doesn't say it in the report, but I think I recall it saying something, in my road agent report of him, working through an injury, but nonetheless, Roop pulling out an amazing performance here tonight. Injured or not, a 60 in-ring performance. I don't think there's a question that Bob Roop may be our best wrestler on the roster here. May not be the most popular, but he's definitely, you know what, I'll say, he probably is one of the most popular superstars on our roster as well. Les Roberts with an in-ring performance of a 38, so not as good as Bob Roop, though, but then again, I don't think we've ever seen a wrestler get a 60 in our company, so thank you, Mr. Bob Roop, for that, and hopefully that'll help get Les over a little bit, even though he did lose being in the ring with one of our top talent. I'm hoping will still help get him over. It did gain heat for let me try saying that again. It did gain heat for the storyline. There's a cannon on the loose, the Les Roberts storyline, which pretty much is just very, no pun intended, loose itself. It's mostly the way I have the storyline booked is I have the referee Bob Clay, I guess technically feuding with Les Roberts, but that's only just to ensure that the storyline always kind of progresses when Les Roberts is in a match, because the story we're telling here is, crazy Les Roberts, and eventually I'll probably add somebody else onto that. Maybe Bob Roop, who knows? Maybe I'll go with something like that. Moving on, though, we go to a 30 E plus rating here as we move on to a angle before we get to our main event. John Doe, yours truly, out here to interview, I guess, half of the men in this upcoming huge 6-man tag team main event, historical main event here tonight. It's first ever 6-man tag team match in IWC history, and maybe even the wrestling industry, because we were still in the 70s. I don't know if it ever happened, but it probably did. Anyway, John Doe down there with, or I guess not. Let's just go to John Doe, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for our huge 6-man tag team main event here tonight that has championship implications to it. Joining me now is the IWC Regional Champion, Jody Arnold, along with his uncle and financial backer to the IWC, Don Arnold, and along with them, Evil Incarnate, Baron von Heisinger, and Carl von Schatz. Very interesting team you've set up here tonight, Mr. Arnold. Any comments on that? What are you trying to say? Nothing. I'm just pointing out that I never thought I'd see the day that your so-called good and honest nephew, our IWC regional champion, Jody Arnold, would team up with two men who openly admit to being, well, evil. Well, I don't like what you're insinuating here, but I'll defend myself. Two men have been bugging me for months now, claiming that they're the rightful #1 contenders to Jody Arnold's IWC Regional Championship. So I tried to put them in a fight. Well, they go on and end it in a no contest. And I tells them boys, I can't give you both a shot. And you both just screwed your spot. So here's what I'll do for you. I'm going to team the two of you up. And Jody here's going to find himself a tag team partner. And we're going to have ourselves a good old fashion tag team match in whichever one of you get the pinfall, whether it be over Jody or whether it be over his said tag team partner, then you'll be the #1 contender for December's championship coronation event. Well, that didn't work for them, Mr. John Doe. You know what they says? They said they can't trust each other. They said they don't trust each other enough to say which one of them's going to be able to get the fall. They think they're just going to be fighting over the damn fall like they were going to win the match anyway. So I said, fine, we'll have ourselves a 3-man tag team matchup. 3 men on each side, 6 men in one match. It's unprecedented. May I say historical. I said you two find yourself a partner and you gets back to me. The only difference I put in this match is now that they must pin Jody here. They can't get a pin over Baron von Heisinger or Carl von Schatz if they want to get that championship matchup at December's championship coronation. If they want that championship matchup at championship coronation in December, they're going to have to pin Jody Arnold here tonight. So they come back to me with Dino Bravo as their partner. And that's, of course, when Mr. Von Hessen here and Mr. Von Schatz came up to me and they offered to join sides with us. Now, I don't know much about the issues between the Baron and Dino Bravo, but I wasn't about to just say no. So you can call conspiracy all you want, but what I see is one hell of a main event. Now, if you'll excuse me, let us not forget about one thing, Mr. Don Arnold. Let us not forget about the other criteria here tonight. If I or Carl here get the pin over Dino Bravo, over Jerry Monty, or Alexis Smirnov, then we are the #1 contenders, no? Look, we'll talk about that later, okay, Baron? First, let's get to the match, okay? Let's get going, gentlemen. John, we'll talk to you later. Well, ladies and gentlemen, sit tight, because that match is next. So we got our main event here. Not John Doe, but Don Arnold here. Kind of, I want to say backpedaling away. You know, I don't know if I actually completely understand his reasoning as to why Jody would be teaming up with Evil Incarnate if he's such a good-hearted soul, but as we all know and suspect here that, you know, Don Arnold may have a little bit more financial backing in here and would like to see his family name in the headlights, but I'm not one for conspiracy theories, so either way, we will see that huge 6-man tag team matchup coming up. But real quick, I would like to go over some things that happened in the world before we move on here. So Buddy Rogers, I'm sure you guys all know Buddy Rogers. I believe Buddy Rogers was maybe, if I'm correct, I'm going to look this up real quick. I'm not going to lie to you, but I think I'm correct. So I'm going to say this before I look it up. That way, if I'm correct, y'all know it. But I believe Buddy Rogers was the first ever WWE champion. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm almost positive about that. So I'm googling it right now. It's loading. Let's see if I'm right. I'm gonna have to pull it up. It doesn't just outright say it, which makes me think I might be wrong, actually. Oh, wow, he's from Camden, New Jersey. I live pretty close to Camden, New Jersey. Oh, yeah, right here. Rogers was a two-time world champion, holding the top championship in both the NWA and the WWF, today known as WWE. He was the inaugural WWF heavyweight champion. So, as I mentioned, he was the very first ever WWE, WWF, WWF, whatever company you want to call it. He was the first ever champion, or world champion, I should say, in the Vince McMahon company. So there you have it. But anyway, before I say that, Buddy Rogers, as I just mentioned, the first ever WWE champion, passed away in our game. He passed away at the age of 50. You know, now that I have him up here real quick, let's just go ahead and let's see when he passed away, just out of curiosity. Let me pull him up again real quick here. But he passed away at 50 in our game. Wow, he lasted a lot longer in real life. In real life, he passed away. He passed away at June 20, or in June. I can't talk today. He passed away June 26, 1992. So he was dead before I was born. Died at age 71. Fortunately, in our game, he died a good almost 20 years earlier, 50 years old. Tragic news. It's been announced that Buddy Rogers, 50 years old, passed away last night after sustaining major injuries following a car crash. So it's very, very sad that happened. Luckily, I don't think it happened in real life. I don't feel like pulling it back up to see how he really did pass away. But it sucks that it happened in our game. That would have been cool. Maybe they booked the first ever WWE champion, but I'm sure he'll go on to the WWF Hall of Fame if he actually, as you can see right there, boom. Anyway, though, moving on, Roger Brown. I don't know if you guys know who Roger Brown is, but early on in the first couple episodes of the IWC, Roger Brown was actually someone that I was considering being our first ever IWC regional champion. He was a former football player. He was, at the time, I believe, our most popular superstar. And he got injured, and he was injured for a long time. In fact, I think he just came back not too long ago from injury. Might have wrestled one match. I don't know. But he retired shortly after returning. Like, I was like, oh, cool. Looks like we're going to do something with Roger Brown here soon. And he retired, like, almost right after returning. Like, it was pretty, like, fast. Like, I was, like, shocked. Anyway, though, the actual report, the wrestling boots have finally been hung up by Roger Brown, who has to admit defeat to injuries that have left him unable to continue his in-ring career. So that's unfortunate because he is on our roster still. I'm not going to fire him. I'm just going to let his contract run out, or I'm going to let him get mad enough to where he wants to walk out of the company. I might use him in the future. Who knows? But I really, at this point, I don't have the money to really be paying him just to be here. But yeah, he retired, which is unfortunate because I was kind of looking forward to him returning and maybe running some angles with maybe him and Jody and some other people. Maybe Ripper or him again. I know they started off with a feud, so who knows. Anyway, though, Les Roberts, the loose cannon that we just saw, not only I swear I can't talk today. Les Roberts, the guy we just saw take on Bob Roop, he is rising, so that is good on his part. Don Ross, aka Ripper Savage, got hurt at another wrestling show. Injured wrestler Don Ross is reported to be considering working through the pain, and that's obvious. We just saw him compete tonight. The grappler who picked up a broken jaw after a botched move from Loretta Peak, who, yes, indeed, is a female. I love Total Extreme Wrestling because now we have short reigns, even though during this time everyone reigned as champion for so long. And now apparently we have males and females wrestling as well. Anyway, Loretta Peak during a match last night, it is understood that the feel. I don't know what the hell I was said. It's understood the injury is not serious enough for him to take time off. And again, we know because obviously he wrestled here tonight. Buddy Rogers, as I previously mentioned, who passed away, has been inducted in both the WWF, now known as WWE, Hall of Fame, and the BTW Hall of Fame. I'm not entirely sure what BTW is off the top of my head. Ivan Putski, the Polish powerhouse, wanted a raise, but unfortunately, in this day and age, I can't afford to give you a raise, so I declined. We signed the contract. We agreed to that state of money that we're going to give you. We'll renegotiate when your contract is up. So he's not very happy with me right now. WSS, Western State Sports, another wrestling company, is now hostile towards us. That's fine. Antonio Inoki, the biggest Japanese wrestler of all time, I believe, is now out for a full year. I'm not entirely sure what exactly happened because I didn't write it down, but he did get injured, and he'll be out of action for a year, which is crazy. And Mil Mascaras, one of the biggest Hispanic stars of all times in Mexico, is going to be starring in a psychological thriller movie, so that'll be interesting. But we'll see his popularity rise up now as well, since he'll be starring in a movie. Anyway, though, moving on to this angle before we move on to the main event of the night, the corruption of the Jody Arnold storyline did unfortunately lose some heat, but the new Baron von Heisinger storyline and Smirnoff's Revenge all advanced as well. So 32E+ for the angle. Let's hope the main event is good. You know what? I think that's around the same as I think Bob Roop may have got like a 43 or something with Les Roberts. So that's pretty good. This is a damn good show, I think. We had 3 great matches. Well, not great, but great for our company. 41 solid D rating in the main event. Our first ever 6-man tag team match, and very well could be the first ever 6-man tag team match in the history of wrestling, but don't quote me on that. We got the team of Jerry Monty, Dino Bravo, and Alexis Smirnoff taking on the team of Jody Arnold and Evil Incarnate, filled up by Baron von Heisinger and Karl von Schatz. Remember, if Jerry Monty or Alexis Smirnoff is able to pin Jody Arnold, not Baron von Heisinger, and not Karl von Schatz, they have to pin Jody Arnold here tonight. They will be challenging for the IWC Regional Championship at the upcoming Champions Coronation event that we'll have in December. But if Evil Incarnate, Baron von Heisinger, or Karl von Schatz get the pin over anyone in this matchup, they will be challenging Jody Arnold for the championship at our next event. So anyway, though, decent matchup here. The team of Jerry Monty, Dino Bravo, and Alexis Smirnoff do indeed go over Jody Arnold and Evil Incarnate in 17 minutes 25 seconds when Dino Bravo pins Jody Arnold of everybody. Not Jerry Monty, not Alexis Smirnoff. Dino Bravo, the badass biker himself, pulls a fast roll-up on Jody Arnold here. 1, 2, 3. He just beat the freaking champion. Now you gotta wonder, I mean, no one ever said that Dino, if he pinned Jody Arnold, he would be the champion, or, get a championship shot, but I'd say, I'd make an argument that maybe he should. He's the one who beat the champion here tonight, so I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Either way, though, Jerry Monty was slowed by an injury here tonight. He is injured, working through it. Maybe that's who I was thinking of. It's not Bob Roop that's injured, it's Jerry Monty. Anyway, though, he's working through it still. Don Arnold, he did some good work ringside, mind you. He is the manager of Jody Arnold. Alexis Smirnoff with an in-ring performance of a 40. Dino Bravo with a 42. Jerry Monty with a 36, so he was the worst person for his team. But remember, he is injured. He was also the worst person in this match, which is very rare to say about Jerry Monty, because usually he's the best, so that injury definitely affecting him. Either way, though, Karl von Schatz was with a in-ring performance of a 37. Baron von Heisinger was a 35. I got to correct myself. I think I said Jerry Monty was the worst person in this match, but he was 1 point better than Baron von Heisinger, who is not known for being our best wrestler, I'll admit. Jody Arnold, on the other hand, really pulling out probably the best performance of his career so far, at least here in the IWC, with a 48 in-ring performance. You gotta love to see that. Good for Jody. Anyway, though, all 3 storylines advancing here. The corruption of Jody Arnold, the new Baron von Heisinger, and Smirnoff's Revenge, even gaining more heat here as well. So, all in all, great way to end off the show. But a little bit of confusion. I mean, maybe we get a little bit of a stare down between Smirnoff and Monty, who are kind of arguing like who's going to get the shot now. And maybe, like I said, I don't know. You could make the argument for Dino Bravo. He did beat the champion, so we'll have to wait until December because that is how we're going to end off our show here tonight. We get ourselves a 39 D- rating here, increasing our popularity in one region, of course, that being the Southwest region. I'm definitely going to have to give both Bob Roop and Jody Arnold. I'm going to have to let's go ahead and compliment them on a good performance, both of them. Both Jody and Bob Roop earned the compliments here tonight. They are doing really well for themselves, I would say so. And let's go ahead and give Les Roberts some encouragement since they had the best match here tonight as well. So let's make our speech. Bob Roop seemed pleased. Jody Arnold was happy with our speech. He's probably happy that he had a great performance. He probably felt it. And Les Roberts also seemed pleased. So this is the end of the actual show. If you want to click off the video, you're more than welcome to now. But I am going to keep it going, and we're going to go ahead and look at some other stuff here before we end off the video. I would like to warn you, though, because it does seem that sometimes when Total Extreme Wrestling is doing this whole processing of the next day, it lags down my computer, and I drop some frames here and there, causing my audio to be off and sometimes. So if the audio is off, you may hear me talking about something that already passed, or maybe I'm talking about something that I haven't even shown you guys, and it's popping up a few minutes after I spoke about it. So I do apologize for that, but it usually doesn't seem to cause too much of an issue. And it's morally towards the end of the video anyway, so it tends to work itself out. Anyway, though, we are moving on to the next day, which is taking a little while here. I was hoping to be done. We got a nice young Greg Valentine here. Greg Valentine, better known as being, I don't know, actually. I know he had a nickname. Greg the Hammer. I was trying to think of the damn nickname that they have him. Of course, Greg the Hammer Valentine, famous for his WWE days. Black Shadow apparently began his first reign as the NWA welterweight champion. I guess that's good for him. And he's injured, too, so what can you do? Classy Freddie Blassie apparently made some comments about EMLL here and upset them. Made a brief but highly charged appearance on a local late-night radio show and proceeded to rip into the company for, amongst other things, late payments, poor backstage conditions, and broken promises. Whether his spells the end of his tenure with the promotion remains to be seen. Let's see. Is there anything else? Aiki Kyo has began a relationship with someone, so good for her, I guess. Whatever that. I don't know why that. Oh, cool! Ripper Savage is fully fit, so of course it had to be the night after you worked a match with me, but that's fine. That's fine. At least you didn't get injured again. Feedback's been very positive for IWC Origins, so good stuff there. Drew 90 fans. I wish we would have drawn more, but what can you do? And looks like that's about all the news here. Real quick, I want to check to see if that was one of our best show, if not our best show. So it was a 39 D+ here in November. Let's go ahead and click history. That's not what I wanted. Top 100 is what I wanted. So top 100 events. No, our best event actually was back in May of 1971. Looks like that was when we pulled off our double show, which we lost a shite ton of money for. Yeah, this show's not even in the top 10, surprisingly. It barely just misses it. It's number 11 right now. Our momentum's at 4 and our prestige is at 4. I don't think I've ever seen both those get up that high, so that's good. Ripper Savage, fully fit. We already mentioned that. Jay York now available to work in new game areas. Jay York. Must be someone. Oh, he's out injured right now. Lower lumbar spinal cord. Holy shit, that's probably a long injury. He'll be back in 30 days. Maybe we'll take a look at him then, but I don't know. He wants $1,000 per show. Maybe we won't. And Earl Maynard. I mean, I know I saw him on the thing, but it must be. Oh boy, he wants 1,200. Never mind. All these morale issues. Can't do anything about these right now because I can't afford to pay you guys off. I'm barely making money myself. But if we go here, we look at the actual world, we were falling in both the economy and the wrestling industry, but the economy is now back on the rise, so we're at a good 35 E plus on that one. Unfortunately, the wrestling industry is still falling with a 33 E plus on that. Both are in the E plus region though, so we are not doing too good still right now. But like I said, economy is rising, so that is good. Real quick, I want to look at our top 100 matches. I was curious. Yes, that match between Les Roberts, Bob Roop, and Les Roberts is our best match to date. Bob Roop, in fact, has our three best matches. He has him and Les Roberts, which got the 51 D plus. Him and Ripper Savage, which got a 49 D plus, and then Russian Roulette defeating Bob Roop in a handicap match, which got a 49 D plus as well. And I think Bob Roop's actually a part of the Eliminators, so he has had four of our best matches because the Eliminators is him and Don Savage, and they beat Ripper Savage and Guillotine Gordon. So Bob Roop is consistently our best wrestler. Jody Arnold may be up there as well. I want to go to the roster real quick. I'm going to give everybody an auto push here. I want to see if it's changed anything. So, Rockin' Robert Fuller, still in the upper mid-card scene. Maybe he was mid-carder, but I think he was in upper mid as before. Superstar Jimmy Snuka, also an upper mid-carder. Alexis Smirnov is a upper mid-card. Surprisingly, I thought he was a main eventer. He could have dropped down. Baron von Heisinger is a main eventer here in the company. Bob Clay is our referee, of course. Bob Roop is a main eventer as well. Cousin Slim is a mid-carder. Curtis Candy is a mid-carder. Dino Bravo, main eventer. Don Anderson is a mid-carder. Don Arnold, of course, is a manager here. Don Savage is a main eventer, which still surprises me. I kind of want to get him lower. Frank Dalton is a mid-carder. Holtz is a upper mid-carder, surprise. Guillotine Gordon is a mid-carder. Ivan Putski, upper mid. Jerry Monty is a main eventer. Jim Alexi is a mid-carder. Jody Arnold is a main eventer. John Doe, it doesn't matter. Carl Von Schatz is a mid-carder. Les Roberts is an upper mid-carder. Wow. That's a bit surprising. That match against Bob Roop really must have elevated him, I think. Let me look at his popularity real quick. 17 here in the Southwest. What was he before? 14. Wow, he jumped up a good amount of points. That match really elevated him. Randy Tyler, upper mid-carder. Ripper Savage is a main eventer. Roger Brown, as I mentioned, he's retired now, so he's just a personality. How much does he have left on his contract? A long time, but I don't want to release him. And Marvelous Morocco is a lower mid-carder, so good stuff all around. Let's go ahead check out our title. I don't know really why, but let's go ahead and check it out. And let me look at the creative meeting real quick here. So our current franchise players, we have Ripper Savage, who is our number one wrestler. Dino Bravo, who has to be considered the lead babyface in our company, surprisingly enough. Bob Roop, who is number 3. Jody Arnold, number 4. And Jerry Monty, number 5. So not a bad list here. Unfortunately, Alexis Smirnov not on there, but what can you do? Jimmy Snuka is still considered our next big thing. Our hot prospects are Curtis Candy, Don Anderson, Jim Alexi, Carl Von Schatz, and the Marvelous Morocco. People who can talk the talk, only Miss Sherry. She's about the only person who's good at handling a live audience. Our showstoppers are Superstar Jimmy Snuka, Dino Bravo, Alexis Smirnov, Ripper Savage. Wow, I don't think Ripper was very good before. He must have gotten better. Look at this. He's very, very good charisma, very good in-ring psychology. Selling of moves is very good. It does have to be said, though, he's not the flashiest wrestler around, but we're in the 70s. No one's really splashy. And then the Marvelous Morocco, so not a bad showstopper list here. Ripper Savage, getting better. Good for him. Our ring generals are Alexis Smirnov, Superstar Jimmy Snuka, Bob Roop, Jerry Monty, and Don Savage. The current superstars who are hot are Jody Arnold, Ivan Putski, Alexis Smirnov, Dino Bravo, and Superstar Jimmy Snuka. And who's not hot are Don Savage, Cousin Slim, Frank Dalton, George Holtz, and Randy Tyler. Nobody's in time decline. And the current hidden gems that the game thinks we should pick up are Eddie Sullivan, Bobby Hunt, Milton Stallings, Lawrence Barnes, and Joe Krugnail. Well, I don't think there's much else that I have to showcase for you guys here. But that's going to be the end of the video. Yeah, I don't think there's much else I really can show you guys. Right now, we're at an 8 importance here in the Southwest, and we need to move up to a 11. I still think we keep dropping because I remember we were at a 9, but I think because we're not able to hold like 2 shows, maybe we just keep dropping every month. I'm not entirely sure. Our popularity is at a 10. Like I said, we can track the progress here, and it only tracks our popularity, and we've kind of been at a 10, 11 for a little while here. It hasn't been, moving too much, but hopefully soon here we'll be seeing a little bit more as the wrestling industry rises. Anyway, though, that's going to be the end of the episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor, leave me a comment, like, subscribe if you have not already. And, of course, don't forget to share this video with your friends, your Facebooks, your Twitters, your Instagrams. I don't give a dams. Anybody you feel would enjoy my content, give them a share. Help your homeboy get some new subscribers up in this bitch. And as always, my name has been OMG, WTF, LOL to WBRB. Real quick, before I end off this video, looks like we need to make a good amount of money. We're probably going to lose money in this next one. I don't know. It's Miss Sherry that really set me over. I didn't realize Miss Sherry was booked. But, here's the hoping, right? Anyway, though, that's going to be the end of the video. Hope you guys liked it, and I will see you guys next time. So until then, have yourselves a wonderful day.